Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. I wish to speak with you today about your divine uniqueness. When you believe that you are separate from others, it's only natural that you will try to find people like yourself to be with. This is the origin of tribalism. In modern language, some people call it PLU, people like us. And we feel most comfortable with people who share our values and beliefs. This is to be expected. What I wish to speak with you about is your divine uniqueness. It's quite possible that you can be convinced of something intellectually because it makes so much sense. And yet, in your personal experience, if you really look, it doesn't fit. It doesn't quite work for you. And that puts you in a dilemma. No one wants to be ostracized from their group. In earlier times, that could mean certain death, not getting the support, the nurturance, the love, the protection from a group put you in great danger. Well, the same is true today, but not in a physical danger, but in a sense of being socially ostracized. It's very difficult to hold an unpopular position. I'm encouraging you, however, to afford yourself the dignity of knowing your own soul, knowing what is right for you, what feels right, and what is your experience. And that might be quite different from what intellectually makes sense. It takes courage and it takes self-love to follow your heart wherever it may lead and not be run by fear. Many, many years ago, this dear one was working as a school psychologist, testing little children. And at a certain point, all of the teachers and psychologists had their renewal of their contract. And someone from the National Teachers Union sent a representative down to talk to the teachers about what was happening in that regard and whether they should go on strike for higher wages. And this one listened to that. And this woman was captivating. And she energized in him and everybody else the notion that they were being unfairly treated and victimized, and that they needed to get out there on the picket lines and say they weren't going to take it anymore. Well, before this, he didn't know there was a problem, but now it seemed serious as a heart attack. And he found himself on the picket lines, and worse, the teachers who chose to come into work after the strike was called were considered scabs. And he was banging on the hood of their car, yelling, "Scab, scab, don't come in here." Anyway, the strike got settled, People went back to work. And not much changed, except all the relationships changed. People that he formerly felt loving towards and connected with, he couldn't talk to anymore. They wouldn't talk to him. Lines were drawn. It was awful. It was very hard to go back to what camaraderie and connection was there before, because the strike separated people. He often thought back, who was that guy banging on the hoods of cars? Who was that guy screaming and yelling epithets to his former friends? Who was that? Well, this is happening now, too. People can be easily swept up by emotional appeals. It's very fetching to consider yourself a victim and then justifying your rage and your attack and your domination of others merely by your victimhood. I'm asking you to resist that temptation, to trust yourself, and to kindly and gently see where your path leads. And it may not agree with those even in your spiritual community. You don't have to take the word of every person who channels. Every vessel influences the message that comes through in some way. Trust your heart, trust yourself, and more than anything, trust your experience of love, and you'll be fine. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.